Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Welcome to the try and figure out the wacky world of today, which isn't wacky in a fun way. No, it's doesn't make any sense. No matter how you spin it, we're in the days of war. Note the background. And we could sit wherever we are and feel a certain amount of comfort that we're not hearing sirens, we're not hearing bombs at the moment over our heads. And we can be relieved too if we're in certain parts of the world. But it's still at the same time, we know something dark and eerie and creepy and murderous. All these things that fill you with fear and anticipation is running rampant. It's like wind currents that for a civilized society, a civilized earth, can't we get beyond the killing and death and destruction? Maybe. Maybe we can, and maybe we can't. As long as there are people that believe that killing is good to gain others' resources, or just to obliterate opposition. We do know, most of us, that depopulation has been on the agenda for decades. Too many people. Too many people. The earth has too many people. We've heard billionaires and trillionaires and quadranaires, if that's the right way of saying that word, have voiced that concern. Not enough resources for everyone. So, Mystic Moon listeners and feelers, let's take a trip into the world of the psychic aura of humanity. Let's get a collection of all our forces, our beings, our vibrations, and let's employ the heavens to answer certain questions, because we know in our inner guts that we're never going to get an answer, right? We're never going to get an answer as to what, because what's the first thing that is lost in warfare? It's not our humanity. It's called the truth. The truth. You'll never have any one side say anything that really is 100%. You may be lucky to get a third, 30% of what is actually happening. It's amazing that the need for greed is just that great. Can you imagine wanting something so badly that you will kill, murder, maim, scalp to obtain somebody else's sweat, somebody else's death? Speaking of death, there's a rumor going around that is we all know the United States, in combination with Israel, backing up Israel one way or the other, I don't say that lightly, is attacking, has been day 17 of attacking Iran. Yeah. The rumors going around the last few days that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is gone, is dead. So we hear these conflicting sides. There's been 3 videos so far, 3 videos out. And each one has been said to be CGI, artificial intelligence generated. And there's the 6 fingers. There's the color of the skin. There's the coffee that he's showing up. There's the coffee that he's drinking that is not natural. It's not natural. Now, the first thing they were saying, the 6 fingers, was, the little pinkies that were like put down. He has flappy palms. However, when I first looked at it, and I do draw a lot of people, by the way, I looked at it, I thought it was when he had his hands not thumbs up, so to speak, but he had his hands talking as though he was, going through rice or some kind of grain. There seemed to be the 6 fingers in that. But it's irrelevant because, no, it's not irrelevant. It's suspicious. First of all, the main thing that's suspicious that it's taken so far three videos to prove I'm alive. Now, if you're so busy fighting people and killing people and destroying people and proving your point, who has time for a video? Not even one. You go, F you. You know, if you think I'm dead, it's your sorry luck, right? It's your sorry luck. You're not going to tell somebody, I'll make a video and show you I have five fingers. I'm drinking coffee. I'm alive. You know, there's lots of suspicious activity. I mean, who has the time during life and death to do that nonsense? So something is suspicious in itself. Also is suspicious is Netanyahu's son, who resides in Miami, Florida. And he has a habit of posting on social media about 30 times a day for the past 9 years. Record, go check it. But for the past few days, he's been absent. He hasn't posted nothing, nada, zilch, zero, nothing. What does that imply? So between the fact of somebody who is managing a war against 1/3 of the planet, he has the time to take videos. Hello, I'm normal. I'm drinking coffee. I'm this, I'm that. I got 5 hands, 5 fingers. And we all know that suspicious 6 fingers and 6 toes that maybe our ancestors did at one time have, but that's really like the extra digits are kind of like aliens or something. And I'm not saying that lightly either, because there's more on that lately. But if you're joining, thank you very much for the hearts. I appreciate it. And I'd like to put a shout out that if you like what you hear, don't hesitate to give us the thumbs up. And of course, you want to send a tip or anything, we're always welcoming support because we're here and we're all in this together. And we know that censorship is rampant. Nobody wants to say what's going on. Because God forbid, or something forbid, and again, I don't say that lightly, that we should even have an inkling of what is ever happening. What is ever happening? So, here we are. So first of all, we know that nobody has the time. World War III is going on, and somebody's going around taking videos showing, I can drink coffee and I have 5 fingers. And I'm not as pasty as I look because I got this nice orange glow. And you would think that maybe he has just spent too much time with the Donald Trump and his orange complexion. So maybe they took a sunscreen, a sun tanning thing together or something. But Netanyahu has been PM for 18 years. Now he doesn't have time for games. Not at all. And the suspicious part about it, he could have been done in by anyone, including his own mates. Don't forget, Netanyahu replaced the only locally born PM, Prime Minister of the history of Israel, who was, coincidentally, also assassinated. And then Netanyahu he was the next one after him. So you can look it up, but I think his name was Rabin, Rabin. He was the prime minister before Netanyahu, and he did die before he was murdered. So it's not inconceivable that something is up. Suspicious. And let us not forget that Netanyahu isn't the most man of the town in his own country. They have been trying for 4 years plus to shake him off. 18 years as PM, 18 years as power. You don't get a lot of friends when you're just saying my way or the highway for a couple of decades. Anyway, they've been trying to get rid of him. So there's a lot of impudence to think, or there's a lot of incentive. Plus, the whole world is like hating the United States and Israel, and we know that because we can see and feel nobody likes the bully, nobody likes the aggressor, nobody likes having things taken, people and family and friends and people taken away from them. Even if you don't know it, it's like even if you don't know it, you know that this is their style. So let's see. now that we've just everybody, up to the 3 videos and the PM before Netanyahu got snuffed out. And the fact that these peculiarities, the 6 fingers, the pasty skin, and the coffee that seems to go against gravity. The coffee he's drinking, the third one, he's drinking a cup of coffee. And even though his profile looks kind of funny, rubberized, not the same thing as the pudginess of him, his facial pudginess, puffiness, puffy. Which at his age and his responsibility, well, I guess he's had a lot of sleepless nights. Or maybe. But anyway, let's see. Is Netanyahu dead? All right? Is he dead? Netanyahu, is he dead? We're going to start asking, okay, let's get the quantum consciousness of us, the planet, and the humans that are being mercilessly slaughtered. And the ones that are traumatized by just the hideousness of the animalistic quality that's being portrayed in us. So, let me see. Let's see now. Let's take a shuffle. And let's see. All right. Now, I'll take this one. I'll take a few cards. The spirits tell me, is he dead or is he alive? Is he dead or is he alive? Is he dead? Is Netanyahu dead? Or is this just a filler? Or is it something more? Is leadership changed? Is Netanyahu? That would leave Donald Trump on the line, wouldn't it? Because Donald Trump would have to take full responsibility, more responsibility. Because one thing going halves on a venture, when the original partner, checks out, you're the one holding the bag. And, you just go, right? So, is Netanyahu, take a few, let's see now, this one feels something. I'll take one more. Take this one. Okay. Now, is Netanyahu departed? All right. First one we got. No, wait, first of all, I think I did. I'm going to switch them all because I don't do switcheroos. I had an upside deck, so I'm going to switch them all to the right side because I do not deal with inverts, reversals. I knew one person who had an inverted belly button. That was rather strange. But anyway, she was a girl. Of course she was a girl. Biological girl. Cis girl. All right, the first thing we get is 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords. Quiet. Ooh, secret. Thank you for the like. Secret knowledge. Quiet. A secret. Do not tell. This is a secret. His whereabouts, his health is a secret. It could be just a ploy for attention, diversion, or it could be something's up. Okay, so we obviously know that it's not being spoken about. The next card we drew just randomly is the Page of Swords. Oh, I guess I could account for the 3 videos that were made that people find suspicious. Now, on some of these AI, artificial intelligence machines or helpers, whatever you want to call them, software, they're giving almost an 80% probability that it's fake. And others are saying much less probability as being fake. So, I mean, even machines are confused, right? Even the software can't make up its mind. The software cannot make up its mind. Like, I've never taken a cup of coffee that, the cup moved, but the liquid did not. And I think that you normally don't see people that change, profiles change. So it takes a few years for your profile to change, right? Your nose, your cheekbones, things like that. And the ears are kind of like, he's always had big monkey ears, but ears are very distinct. Even when you've had surgery, plastic surgery, of course you can have surgery on your ears, pin them back, but it's very hard to get those inner lobes and stuff, those little cavities and stuff, like, change them. It's hard. Not impossible, but hard. You can always take skin tissue from one place and stick it in another. That's what we all know. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. Now, this is something that's also saying these videos, or this rumor, is he or isn't he floating around somewhere? Or what? Or walking around, sleeping around, something. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. That's a curious thing to have right now, isn't it? Riches. The earth is happy. Is he dead? Now that's the question. Is he dead? Is he dead? Is this the question is he dead? Now this could, so far we have the Secret and we have the Page of Swords. The winds of destruction. And then we have this earth energy of like, somebody's happy. Somebody is truly happy. And this also could be an affirmation that he has passed on. Still a mystery. We're going to have to examine this Page of Pentacles. Next card we get is the Seven of Cups. Ooh. Seven of Cups is a strategy-based one. Shall I do it left, right, up, down? Which way shall I spin this? Seven of Cups. Decision making. Decision making. Weird combination, isn't this? Two of Swords and Page of Swords and 10 of Pentacles. And of course the spin. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is always a spin. Always a spin. Trying to find out what makes you look good. It's almost like looking in the mirror and going, this outfit, or maybe this today, the weather is, things like that. It's superficial on one level, but it's also strategizing which way to make, it's like marketing. Which way makes me look good, right? That kind of thing. And the next one we got, the Empress. Feminine energy, feminine control, receptive. Well, it's hard to read this one. We get like a lot of communication, then we get excitement, and then we have the Seven of Cups. And then we have the Empress, seeing how the world will take it. Now, we all know that anybody can put on a silicone suit and get one of Elon Musk's private lines of robots. And they could be anybody and do anything, and it'd be hard to tell. And if you think not, then, well, go back to watch more sci-fi or that was done 50, 60 years ago. Because we all know the real deal with anything, especially reality, can be made and produced, right? Can be made and produced with a plethora of artificiality. Or you can even make it in a lab. We do know about sleeves, right? Bodyoids, and cloning. So many things, so many things. Now these are, I would say the Emperors is all these, whatever it takes to get the job done. The spin is going to be whatever it takes to get the job done. And what is this job? World domination? Could be. Global domination? Right. Now remember, people, we still have that whole so many mysteries that we're kept in the dark. We all know that. That's why it's so important for us to develop our psychic abilities, because we should be able to pull away from the 3D and look deeper, think quieter. Also, so what do we have here? We have quiet manipulation. Let's look at this Two of Pentacles. Let's just change the deck and see this Two of Pentacles. No, not Two of Pentacles. Excuse me. 10 of Pentacles. Let's just take a quickie look. Let me see. Where's my... here. Let's look at this deck. This deck is great for like cutting through things, first of all. Of seeing things in a very stark way. In a very, very stark way. This 10 of Pentacles. Just take a couple. 10 of Pentacles. What is this elation? What is this? Aha, I got it. Could this be the coup has changed? The leadership has changed? Or something. Just like if you do in your neighbors and you're going rah, this one, then, and you're telling the world, well, that was fun. Don't you think they're going to try and do the same thing to you? Right? I mean, it's one thing, let's say if somebody wrongs you, when you heard them go, I got, right? You know, skipping a lot of ill-placed words. But then, and then you heard it, and then they're bragging. Wouldn't you have an incentive to repeat the good deed? Something like that. So one should be careful about how much you boast, how much pain and suffering. And then how much are you going to do things? War is, I'm a peace freak, a peace person, a peace entity. I do believe that we are being watched by other species. And perhaps maybe we've always been watched by other species. Which one here? This one's poking its little head out. Okay, just three. Let's just get some more clarity on this 10 of Pentacles. Right? 10 of Pentacles. Oof. Devil energy. This is not a joyous 10 of Pentacles. Oh no. This is not a joyous 10 of Pentacles. Right? This is several with a scheme that they have obtained. Thank you. Hi. This is some kind of scheme that a collective has transpired to do. Right? Hello. Well, and this was the 9. There's just waiting to see how this fit. Is he dead? And as I said, we do know about sleeves, bodyoids, clones, and so forth. And silicon covered robots, advanced robots. Well, we have something. Look at this 10 of Pentacles. Can you just check that out? 10 of Pentacles, right? The 10 of Pentacles. It's something like give the devil its due, and everybody's waiting to see where the shoe is going to drop. Judgment, right? Judgment. It's almost he who lives by the sword. What do they say? Dies by the sword. Thank you for the likes. Well, that is a strange 10 of Pentacles, isn't it? Well, they're waiting to see. Well, it looks negative to me. It doesn't look like the happiest of the happy. This 10 of Pentacles is a loaded 10 of Pentacles. Look at the devil, judgment. And then everybody's waiting around. He. As you recall, too, the prime minister of Israel prior to Netanyahu was murdered. Was murdered. Rabin. Well, it's a mystery. It is a mystery that there's a lot of secrecy, but somebody seems to want to like blow the lid off of it. Wants to announce. It said truth is the first thing that goes in war. What do you think? Do you think Netanyahu is dead? I'm inclined to think that this is a political situation, a political move that is quiet. Now, you can never be sure with anything, right? You can never be sure unless you're there in person. But the fact that his son has been quiet for a week or so since it's happened, his disappearance, and he was a real donut loving. He loved social media, like somebody as a thing for eating donuts, right? He had to, hi everybody, I'm here. And of course, it's noted that his son is not there in Israel, but lives in Miami, which everybody knows. I would say that something definitely has happened to Netanyahu. Something has happened. And it's one of the biggest secrets. Of course, everything about Israel is censored. In fact, in the United States, things are becoming censored as well. So even asking the spirits, which we all are entitled to bring our collective consciousness developed into a universal state of spirituality, and also see where the quantum consciousness leads us to. Right? I would say that Netanyahu is, or something is speaking to me. Netanyahu is not altogether. He's not altogether. Something has happened. And even some Indian journalist, like reporter, was arrested because he located Netanyahu's spot a week ago or so. Yeah, where he was. Can you imagine living under thank you for the likes. Imagine living through all that pressure of like, who's going to kill me? Who's going to do that to me? Who's going to trip me? Who's going to spit at me? Who's going to do, they're not going to, you can't kill a lot of people or just spew a lot of hate and have people go, oh, great job. And even if they did say, great job, would you trust those people? Those lovers of viperous action? I wouldn't. I don't feel that he is just hiding out and having time to play theater. Selfies. I don't think he just has time. Nobody has to. It seems suspicious. Nobody has time to have selfies. Nobody cares when you're that ruthless. You're in that much paranoia and defensive and offensive modes. Has the time to go, hey, smile. They don't have time to do that. I have 10 fingers. So that's suspicious in itself. Forget about what it looks like. The actions. And of course, again, actions always speak louder than words, right? Follow the scene. It seems like Netanyahu is still alive, but he is ailing. I don't feel peppy. I don't feel peppy energy from this. I don't feel that You don't feel that he's gone. Gone. There's something going on. Something. Something. Yeah, something. Think about it. Put yourself, let your consciousness float away to that part of the world, to that person, Benjamin Netanyahu. Think about all the sides, fighting wars, doing this, all this agitation. Your own people hate your guts, right? And then you boast how much I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then you're just on a warpath, carnage, destruction. Like a certain kind of human who can even relax. Coffee. You would think he would be drinking chamomile tea or something. Or something. I don't think that when you, a human, can actually do that much and still celebrate. Wow, that was fun. No, it's not fun. It isn't. It isn't. So I say that something is going on. It's not, let me smell your donuts or cupcake war. It's not like that. Something's going on. And somebody feels that devil energy and judgment hand in hand, and they're just wanting to see how to break whatever it is, and it's not positive, to the world waiting. Hi, Sully. How are you? How's everything? Oh, I learned I learned uh, a new hand sign. Let me share it. Um, I was I'm familiar with the Middle East, okay? But anyway, I found out a new hand sign. Like this is like for the Gulf states. This is like winning. It stands for winning. No, I'm not. No, winning, love, and no, love and not victory. Victory, love, and winning. Isn't that it? That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. That's the hand sign for the Emirates of Dubai. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's like all of a sudden, it's been really, really cold. I mean, it was starting to get warm again after having like 8 feet of snow. And all of a sudden, from 70 degrees, it went back to like 20 something degrees. And it's right now, it's almost spring, like it's 37, 40, but it's still like, oh, please, enough of this cold air. Enough of this. This winter's been horrible. But, well, it's almost over in spring, so I'm looking for the daffodils and things like that. How are you doing? How are you doing? I know. We went from like it was like 18 to it was like below zero. It was below like 16 below zero to like 70 degrees. After, of course, it was like 3 weeks of below zero. And the piles of snow. Oh, it was horrible. In fact, I'm still like feeling cabin fever or winter mental illness in the sense of like, oh God, I hate winter. I've seen enough snow for the rest of my life. I'm ready to move to the tropics again. I'm ready. Oh yeah, tornado warnings. Yes. Well, we do know that they have been forever manipulating the weather, and I just think they put so much heavy metals and crap up there, plus those Elon Musk satellites and the 5G and the 6G. that 4G, blah blah blah, that they can't control it all, and we don't know who else or what else is like moving that stuff around either. I mean, it's so reckless to fool around with what they've been fooling around with. It is. Yes, 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 yes. And then they have those microwaves, those huge microwaves that they say, who knows who's pointing? It could be China, it could be Russia, it could be like Greenland, it could be Colombia. Any country could put those, you know, microwave beams at us in our clouds, plus with that stuff they throw around in, the chemtrails. And we have this hideous weather system going on. Like it isn't, nothing is natural. Nothing. I mean, other countries openly admit they do it. Of course, Trump has said that he was going to tell us all about chemtrails, then go zip, zip, zip. It's been a year already. Trump is going to tell us about like the aliens, zip, 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 nothing, nothing, nothing. And then he was going to tell us about all those drones and all that strange kind of alien crap, recrafted or renovated aircraft, whatever you say, however you call it, like when you take something and you change it over, revamped. Nothing, nothing, nothing. All we hear is BS, right? Anyway, so I'm really happy that you're doing well. It's very hard right now. It's hard. It's like so much crazy. It's just like wacky times, wacky times. It's past crazy news. It's wacky. You don't ever know if like the world is going to be like nuked, bombed. If the people you love are going to be put in danger, and then people that they're getting these brains fried with all these, nano toys, nano bits. It's in the atmosphere. I don't know. It just smells. It just smells. Everything like the climate control. It smells. It really, really smells. It does smell too. It does smell. And the butterflies are not that much. The birds have changed around a lot. And still we're going. We're not talking about it. And also, it's just crazy. It's and it just feels like it's so crazy. It can't continue. It can't continue. And then crazy people are just trying to ramp up the fear and the grossness more. I don't know. I mean, I feel that like something wonderful is happening. Because we're getting this collective consciousness, this this ability to say, hey, that is mind control elements. That's crap. That's crap. That is not a thing that an adult would do, right? An adjusted, happy person would do. Maybe if you're some, warped psychopath, you would do these things. And we all can say that, you know, playing evil is evil. Playing demon energy is, we know the difference between good and evil. And just because somebody else is going on, doesn't mean we have to go on, right? Yeah, to stay. I mean, it's like the world is. I mean, we have to realize we have every right to live in the same world. We do. The world is bonkers now. Yes, yes, but we have every right, because we breathe, our heart beats, to live in a sane reality. I mean, when somebody's telling you story, lie after lie after lie after lie, it gets thin. And just because you have more money, you have this and you have that, you have things, that doesn't make you the best. It doesn't. I mean, and the ability to talk, well, how about backing it up with, some with good deeds, right? Good deeds. Yeah, it's. But I do think that we're going to come out of this, or as we are going through this, that in a very different world. I mean, we're no longer going to be looking, oh, what should I do, Big Daddy? Or what should I do, Big Mama? We're not going to do that. It's not going to be that way. We're going to be like, increasing our consciousness, our spirituality, which is going to awaken what we are as humans. Now, somebody could say, "Oh, you're living in a fool's paradise," right? But, but there is conditioned thought, and there is free thought. And that's something that we have to learn to have the freedom of thought back, and to say, "This is absolutely nuts. I'm not going to do this. This is crazy. This is crazy." But so many people, they need to have the menu. What shall I do today? I have to do this. I have to do that. It's already told you what to do. Hi again. Hello. How are you? Yeah. So I mean, we just have to. we just have to pull it together. We got to pull it together. We have to, get up there and now they're not going to tell us the truth, right? If they're not going to ever tell us what's really, really happening, then because of censorship, you'd be freaked out if you really knew what was happening type of approach, then we do have the ability to step out of our bodies. Remote viewing. Have you tried that? Remote viewing. Remote viewing is something that you can train yourself to do it, and you can do it, and you repeatedly you have to of course follow certain ways to be able to do it, but it's possible. Like, you don't have to do everything in with your physical body. And in fact, it may sound like far out or something wacko, but in the US Army, they have remote viewers. They have special psychic teams. All countries in their military have psychic teams that do remote viewing. And they have them also in special ops, special project. NASA, the government, the space force, they have their remote viewers. They have their psychics, because that's how much they really value, or they're afraid of, or know the human capacities. I'm glad you're well. ARW. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what like Mystic Moons is really, really trying to get this energy and like bring it, because it's true and it happens and it's there. It's there. It is so there. And we have more than to sit around and like have tantrums and smash people up and this kind of stuff. Because the real deal, the real warfare is when we start like openly, universally connecting with planets that are not Earth. I mean, that are not, or we find out that these not humans have been milking us and taking us, whatever it may be, our essence, and have been mining us like farm animals. We don't know that, because we're certainly acting like zoo or farm animals with this bombing and stuff like that. And even that they're suppressing a lot of, like, this is theater. This is theater, and who's benefiting from this, destruction, warfare? It's theater. Because, you can take a microwave and high intensity beams and just wallop everybody in one super fry. Maui, LA, come on. And then we're going like, oh, we're spreading, oh, we're having wrong think. Uh-huh. Right, right. Yes, exactly. The gate probe, yes, gifted, and they try to get you early, like even with, like, let's say Sesame Street, right? Sesame Street was training you to concentrate, right? Every couple of minutes, something else, something else, something else, and then you had these outlandish, ridiculous, artificial characters, and you said, "Oh, that's funny, that's cute." You got used to it, but everything 5 minutes, brief attention span, that hardly anyone who was raised in that kind of environment without having guardian or adult saying, this is to make you scatterbrain. Watch this crap. Watch this, right? So you could not collectively concentrate. And it still goes on today, of course. It still goes on today. Even the fact of having on Sesame Street, they have that Sabrina Carpenter dressed in like sex worker clothes. Who always works in sex worker clothes on Sesame Street? I mean, it's like, please. And then to try and and they're trying to divert the attention of the youth, the little ones, from the heart and head, heart and mind, and expanding to like the lower chakras. Oh, just get that lower chakras. And that's where it gets really kinky, and it's also distracting because instead of giving the offspring, the young ones, telescopes and microscopes, they're having a lot of confusion in there. So they can't give themselves in a totality unless they have guardians or, active, intelligent people around them. But I think that we're realizing the warpness of our present course. And it is pretty warped. And it's sorrow. It's very sorrow that we have to have people that keep denying our psychicness, our abilities, our giftedness, That's what we have to do. We have to help each other. Ping, 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 ping. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Thank you for the likes. If you care to, join us, because we're into this. We're gonna wake up. We're gonna wake up because I think that, we're sitting down. The time zone's not important, but we're like on each other's radar. We're on each other's radar, and we're almost like this energy collection is almost like an amoeba, like layer and layer, molding, molding, molding something, molding, like growing something, shaping into something that it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. It's powerful. Oh, and if anybody would like a reading or anything, feel free to ask. Just put your question in, and we can take it from there. All right? Let me know. I'm around.